Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on a bunch of junk. Well, no, not really. I have this roll of wallpaper and I've had it for a long time. I guess Mom bought it for like $4. And because she knew I like teapots, she gave it to me. But it's one of those that you have to put the paste on yourself. So we're going to make a little project with that. And I'm going to show you the sneaky peek right here. I think we left off at this spot yesterday or the last video. And here I've got one of the homemade, or the pockets that came with the kit, the Secret Garden kit. And this is actually one of the tags that came with it as well. And I just kind of stenciled on the back. This, I think, is a little envelope. And the way I did it, I put a band around it, all the way around, and I think I hit it with this flower concoction here. That's just a little plastic dragonfly. I think it was an actual button. But the way it closes is it actually goes up underneath of there, like that. I've got it glued up to this point, and then I left that open so that can go down underneath of it. But I just made it out of some paper. I guess it was when I was experimenting with envelopes, because this is one of my scrapbooks that has some really pretty paper pads in it, or pages, I should say. Somebody had given me all these little tiny tags. I don't know if that was Judy or who, but I put a little tie in it and I glued those on here. This here is like a 6-inch strip that's out of one of my other paper pads. It's a 2-sided. And I kind of just made a pocket out of it. I think there's a pocket on the other side as well. But it's a bunch of just scraps of my lace. And I can tell this is when I did the Christmas in July the other year. Because that was something that was given to me for July. And that one was as well. So yeah, I just put some tulle under here. And I see some cheesecloth and a little bit of scrap lace. It's just a little bit of everything. This was from the Secret Garden kit as well. And I did the same here where I just kind of did the Harlequin stencil because the Harlequin design is on the outside. And I cut out the hat and put it under a tea bag and put notes on it. And it's just something you can write in. And I tucked it in there. See how kind of pretty it goes with this paper here, which is a digital from, let me check. Yes, it was from My Porch Prints, and it's shabby ticking. And I loved it because you could see the ticking, you could see the writing, and you can see this rose bleeding through it. And this was also from that as well. And it had some words and the same concept. This is from the Secret Garden. It has some really beautiful papers. So far, that's about all I see. Oh, somebody had made me one of these paper dresses, and so I stuck that in there with a couple butterflies on either end. And this is some collage paper on the back side. And this is a big stamp that I've got. So I'm going to just stop it right there. I keep going. I'll put my little marker in there, and we'll come back to that later. And as you can see, this is what we're going to make. This is what I come up with so far. This was a piece that was actually on the end, and that's where that sticky $4 piece was at that told you how much it was. And I don't know whether I'm going to use that or not. It's really, really sticky. Unless I can get that off with some hand sanitizer. But you can actually write on this. And that's what inspired me to do this. I was seeing something. I don't even know who was doing it. But somebody had an accordion kind of a little book. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, oh, that looks interesting. Well, I thought, well, you know, I would rather have access to both sides. And instead of leaving it where I did one for you before, not long ago, just a couple weeks back. And it was like just a Z fold. So it was stuck on this piece on the front cover and this piece on the back cover. And it was very small. So you didn't have to really do much with it. But this one has about 4 or 5 folds in it. And I'm actually going to make the one today even twice as long. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you had a front opening and a back opening? Now this looks like it's the front or the back, but it's actually the front. Now I've got 2 brads here and I've got 2 brads here. And then it opens with Velcro dots. So, and then I've got, these are from the Dollar Tree, and I put a teacup down here that looks like this teapot. I have a little bit of scrap paper that was left over from one of my paper pads. It's just white on the back and it's real thin. But I wanted a teaspoon in there, so I got that in. And then I had some doilies, real intricate looking little doilies. So I kind of inked it up on the edge, and I put that down, and that little pink strip come from the actual wallpaper. So these are all the pieces and parts that I've got working with this. And I have this saved over. That's where that little teapot and teacup sticky note came from. But inside of here, there's actually a pocket. Let's see, where is it? It must be on the other side. So this one is the writing side. As you can see, it's just nothing but the paper. So this would be the side that you would do your journaling and stuff on. And as you can see, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. That's all you have. And then you push this down, and then you flip it, and you go to this side and open it. And this is the side, and it kind of bows a little bit because it was rolled up for years. But this is where I have a pocket. I have a pocket here, and I have a pocket on the back here. Now, I'm going to cut this to make journal cards to go in the pockets. So that's what that is for. And as you can see, there's the one I used on the front. It's the only one that's small enough to go from nose to handle to fit on this size here. But I measured it, and these are about, the outside cover is 5.5 by 7. And that's what I went with there. And then it's like every one of these is about 5.25 apart. Yeah. So I scored it 5.25 on each one of these. Now, I mean, it's going to depend on what you've got, as a wallpaper edging. I'm sure everybody's got some of these in their closet. I keep stuff like a pack rat, It's got a pretty little edge on the bottom like it's a tablecloth. And there's that little pink border as well. But there's about 4 or 5 different teapots. 5. And then it goes back to the same. And then I have, like I said, the pocket on this end as well. And yeah, I didn't decorate the back. I did wonder about that. I may do that later. So it's something on both sides. I tried to figure out if I could change this around to where this was on this end. And we may be able to do that. I'll have to think about it. This is just some paper out of one of my paper pads. It's just white on the back. But I love the little gold scroll design. And I thought that would go well as a backdrop to this. So, let's get working on it. Let me pull my cutter over here. Okay, let me start cutting. I might have to get these 2 out of the way. And we're going to do 2 5 by 7 pieces. I think I'm going to go with 5 first. And just cut it. Now, any little pieces I have left over from this are probably going to be used for the little hinges, I guess you would call them. So we'll do that. I may go ahead and cut 4 of these to make 2 more books. So I can just get those out of the way. I want to thank everyone for coming to visit and spend a little time. And I really appreciate you coming and supporting me and seeing what I got to show you today. I'm always trying to show you something different. I made this up the other day and I thought, I've been thinking about it for a while. I kept trying to figure out how to make it work and, that kind of thing. Now that, those might be able to go into that side pocket, to tell you the truth. Let me, is this, no, wrong end. I'm always opening the wrong end. I've got to get it figured out, and I think I have, on how I can change that. It also may be a must for us to strengthen this edge right here, where this is going in. Now that doesn't fit too bad at all, to tell you the truth. So I might save these for this one, and I'll just stick those over to the side. All right, I've got this 5x7 cut out. This strip will be for the little hinges. Let me get my other one cut, and I will be right back with you. As you can see, I got a good bit of that left. So what I'm going to do is get my pencil and my ruler, and we're going to start measuring this out. And I'm going to go ahead and mark it, because I'll know exactly where I want to score it. So this works out perfectly when I'm doing 5 1/4. I couldn't believe it. Let me get these kind of stuck up here all the way. And where's that at? 5 1/4. And I'm going to probably cut this out again once I figure out where I'm going to be slicing and dicing this baby. And I'm going to keep measuring until I've got the length I need, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going for an even number of these. That's how you want it to work in your book to get the pocket coming and going, you know. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to cut it right here at the mark that I made. And then we're going to get this out of our way. It wants to do its own thing and not cooperate. So now we're going to go ahead and start pulling it back. And we're going to put it on my 3 that I have marked here. And we're going to score it. It's kind of weighty, so I got to keep a hold of it. So I'm just going to score it. Oh, I haven't got any way to mark it on the back side, so I'm scoring it on the same side, and it didn't have an issue with it at all. So you don't have to worry about having to flip it, you know, when you'll do an accordion style. So you just keep going about your scoring here, and then I'm going to come back through, and I'm going to erase all those little pencil marks, because they'll be there for the eternity if I don't. It is a nice, another scorching day here in lower Western Virginia. I'm not in West Virginia. I'm just in Western Virginia, I guess you would say. I figured it was going to hit sometime. We didn't have a wet spring this year. I don't know why. We most times have a really, really wet one. And Mom is always telling us about when the buckeye tree is in bloom, about halfway down its little cone-shaped bloom, it will be the sheep rain. And she always, I know you've heard me talk about the sheep rain before, and it is a sheep rain because it happens at the time that they shear the sheep. So they're always standing around shivering in their little naked bodies at that time. And it's usually right on the money every single year. Some years we've only had 3 days, but usually it's a whole week of rain. Non-stop usually. And I live in the Shenandoah Valley, so it's a really nice, beautiful green. And we are always having people come down from like New York and the upper states. They'll come down here for the fall time to see the changing of the leaves. Although, you know, I think they would have a more beautiful setting up there. Now, I'm not exactly sure I like this little bit. So I think I'm going to cut that out, because this is where the pocket would be on the side of your, or the inside of your cover. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that little bit out. Probably right about there. That's giving me the option of having a little thumb pull going in there. I mean, $4. And I've already made one project with this a while back. I'll probably link that for you at the end. Okay, now this is going to start folding inward. And this will be where I'm going to cut a thumb pull in it right there. Let me go ahead and do it. Well, actually, I'm going to strengthen that. I didn't mention that. Let me set that on there and I'll get something to strengthen it. Actually, I'll just go with this piece. It's not going to be quite long enough for both sides, but that's all right. We will get another piece and stick in there. Is that about right? It's a little crooked, but who cares? Oh, I had this one from the other side. All right. See, you can always use your scraps. Always. And we're going to make those match. And I'm going to go across and try to get straight. There we go. Now I'll go ahead and glue this on here. And I don't know what to do to help out with the curl situation. I thought once I got it in the little booklet like this that it wouldn't have an issue with the curl, but it seems to stay there. But the two different spines, like the holders, I think, you know, over time it'll help it. It's just one of those things that likes to be picky. All right, so we're just going to go right up to the edge here and put that on. And it's just like you're doing your wallpaper, putting your paste on. And I guess you do remember maybe that time that I was telling you the story about when Mom she had rheumatic fever. I know there was another video I did, and I couldn't remember. I could remember scarlet fever, but that's not what she had. She had rheumatic fever. And her mother had it as well. It's almost like it was like a hereditary thing. But thank goodness I didn't get it. I usually am her clone. I get everything she's got. It doesn't matter. It always has this effect on me. All right, I'm trying to figure out if I need to cut down this one, and it looks like I do just a little bit. So let's get that out of the way. See if I can cut it backwards. But yeah, she was staying with her Aunt Katie, who was really, really not any relation. She was a sister to Mom's grandmother's husband. So he had a couple brothers and quite a few sisters. And they all, you know, they knew Mom. She went to visit them and all that kind of stuff. So Aunt Katie worked in a cafeteria at an elementary school. Now, her husband, he had died not long after they got married. It wasn't a couple years, and she never married again, and she worked in this elementary school cooking. And the thing was, back then, you could take the food home with you. I mean, if they didn't eat it all, she was taking the food home, so there she didn't have to spend any money on groceries. I think her house was paid for, so she had no monetary outlet to spend all of her money that she was making. So what happened, was she would take it and she would use paste on the back of wallpaper. She would paste the wallpaper, and then she'd lay her money, all her bills, on the wallpaper. Paste it again, and they'd slap it on the wall. And the reason my mom knows that is because she had her helping her one time. And, yeah, they were they were working on one of her, I don't know how often she got paid, but one of her weeks or months when she got her paycheck. And they were putting it up there on the wall. Alright, and all I'm doing here is I'm cutting my little center pole out. And I think this is going to help it a lot better than my first demo one did. It feels a whole lot firmer. And I can probably get something in and out a whole lot easier. Okay, now we're going to fold it. Get that out of the way. So, let's see. I might need that. Why am I putting it up? So, we want to fold it facing itself first. That's how you want to do it, because this part is going to get glued against the cover, and you want to be able to see the little teapot. And then we're going to just keep folding it. Oh, I got to find the fold mark. Where is it? There. Okay. And then it's not quite on the money. I had to go back through here and look at it and try to figure out what was going on with it, because my marks weren't quite on the money. So I had to fix it a little bit. And as with all accordion filed items, you know, they never quite fall right. They don't. Now you can always adjust it a little bit if you want to as you're folding it and scoring it down. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Where is the score there? Okay. I'm just going to keep doing this all the way down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is what I have. So that'll get glued to the front page, that'll get glued to the back page, and then you have all your little teapots in between, and then this will be the part that you write on. So let me put this down over here with my weight. I'm needing it. Alright, so I'm going to figure out my 2 pieces I need for the first one. And we're going to round a gentle round on each corner. And then we're going to ink it with some vintage photo. I just wanted something light. I didn't want something very dark. So we're going to do that. I got a couple things I was going to show you at the end. I made another one of the double pocket envelope thingies I made the other day, and I screwed up the video on, you know. So I'll be able to kind of show you what it looks like. This one I did not do the little buckle, the belt buckle thing. So I just made it the regular way. So you'll be able to see both styles. And in that same video, I had thought I was showing you one of the paper bag journals that I just made to go to the shop. And it's sort of a different concept. Like if you're trying to use up some of your book page and any other kind of pages you have, music page, and they, you know, with your book page, the more the merrier if you have different colors, like the age limit. Some of them are a different age color, so that, yeah, that really comes in handy. All right, so let me see if I was to put this on here, and it could be either way. I think that's right side up. It's actually too small. I cut this at a 5x7, and This is like 5 1/4. What was I doing? What was I doing? Mm-mm-mm. Well, what did I wrote down it? Oh, 5 1/2. That, my bad. My bad. Oh my goodness. Well, what is this one? No, that one's only 5 inches wide as well, isn't it? Yeah. Well, hooty tooty. I'm trying to see if I've got anything else, because 2 7s is 14, so I can't do that. Maybe I could add something to the edge, though, over here. Well, let's do that. We can always fix it. You know I'm going to find a way to fix it. Every single time. Well, we have this that I was saying I was going to put inside. But you know what? Let's make a little strip of this. And we're going to put it along the edge. And make it a little longer. That'll be cute. I think the colors are fine for, you know, what I'm doing here. See, the green and the dark. It's even got like a bird. Well, I don't know if that's peach or... I don't know what color that is, but we're gonna work with it. All right. So this is 5 inches. It needed to be 5 1/2. So I'm going to go inch. I'm going to make it an inch and cut it right here. And I can see. Wait a minute. Let me go 1 1/2. I want to be able to see the teacups. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to be able to see these teacups. All right, I'm going to the inside of that handle. There we go. Yeah. All right, that worked. And then I'll go to the inside of this handle. Let's see, one's going to be on the front, where I can see the little cups. But then when I get to the back side, it's going to have to be... I'm going to trim it down to the... Yeah, I'm going to trim it down to the edge of that cup. You're probably thinking, what are you doing? I have to reverse it for the back side. So what I needed to do was to have a full cup showing, because then I just have to have enough to glue under. So let's try this. Okay, and I've got a little bit left over for the other two that I've screwed up. Okay, and then it's 7 inches tall. So let's just go up here to 7 and cut this down like that. Same on this one. 7 inches tall. Okay. Now, let's see if that'll do it. And I need to ink it. You know, leave it to me. I swear, it's lately, I haven't been doing well with how things have been working out. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need a break. But I'm going to clip the side that I know is the one that is to stick out. And then with this one, it's going to be this side. Yeah, I got it. I got it now. Okay. There. Now I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I need to make it about 5 1/2. This is going to go on this side. So it needs to be about right there. Oh, I can't see the cup. Isn't that something? If I make it at 6, I can. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make it 6 because it's not that much more. You know. You know. So, you know, you don't have to do this. This is me fixing my problem. You just make sure you cut yours at 5.5. If that's the size of what kind of paper that you might have. You're probably going to have to adjust because I'm sure you don't have the same old thing I've got. I was just trying to show you how to use up some excess wallpaper. I've got a smaller one over there. It's not as tall. It might be 5 inches tall. That is a seashell, a thing of seashells. And I need to figure out something to do with it as well. So that one goes on that side. This one is going to go on this side. I'm just going to make sure it is 6 inches. Yep. Right on the money. And let me glue. This one's a little bit bigger. That's why it looks like I'm gluing more. All right. Let's get with it, Rhoda. Get my mind in the game. Isn't that what the coaches always say? Get your mind in the game. Oh, all right. Is that 6? Yeah, 6 is good enough. Good enough. Let's give it a little burnish. And then we're going to... there we go. I was watching a jewel design this morning. Jolene, her and one of her daughters had gone to Europe, and they were looking, you know, they had a bus tour and all this, and she said, you know, they just didn't get a chance to see much because I didn't even think about it, but there's all kinds of stuff going on over there now, and they didn't have a chance to really get out and walk and tour and those kind of things. Because there was Fashion Week, you know, watching Project Runway. I know that. They're always having Fashion Week over there this time of year. And then, you know what? All I got to do is cut this other side down. Why am I so stupid? I'll be back. I'm sure y'all were standing there shouting at me. Just cut the other end down. Oh... It's just the heat. It's the heat. Where's that Bill Paxton? He was that guy that was in Twister. He was on Aliens. Yeah, that's one of my shows, man. Aliens. I think it was Aliens 3 or something. But, oh, yeah, he was saying it's a dry heat. He's a nut. He was a nut. Okay. So what I need to figure out here, these are upside down. That's all I need to do. Put the teacups upside down. That's upside down. Okay. So this would go here. And let's see. We want to... I'm trying to figure out where I want to put in my brads. All right, so I took a couple of strips and I backed them with just some thin copy paper. And they were like the pieces that were left over from here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and make the edge rounded. I think just one this time. I did on both of them on this one, but I think I want to change that look. Because the one that will have the Velcro dot, oh, didn't get that right, under it, let me trim that one, will be the rounded edge. So you'll know which side will be the rounded edge. Okay, and one more. I really like this paper, that's why I wanted to use it. It almost looks like it's a feather. I chopped that one a little wonky. I think my chopper's losing its oomph to tell you the truth. I think that's what it is. It doesn't have much oomph left. Okay. So we're going to ink around the outside real quick and get that taken care of. And this is about all I'm doing, just going around the outside. Okay, and the way we're going to do it this time, this will be the side where the brad is showing. So what we're going to do is, I like to have them where they'll actually spin around. If you'll look at this one, it actually will spin around and go and kind of hide behind there. In case you're wanting to work and you want those out of the way, you can spin it all the way back that way. However you want to do it. I love that idea. I came up with that a while back. I don't know that I've seen anybody else do that. But what we're going to do is I'm going to lay it there how it would, you know, be positioned if I spun it. And then I'm going to put my dot there. I think that's about right. Yeah. It works. It'll work. And what I'm going to just do is put everybody in a row behind it, because they're all exactly the same. And then I'm going to use my small hole puncher there. I just knock that out of place. And we're going to go up in here. Try to get it as centered as possible. Yep, that looks like it. So then I'm going to take this one first. Well, actually, I could take both of them. That's wait a minute, let me think about it. So that one is there with the eyelets, and that'll be the front. And this one will be the back, and that they'll have to be here. Okay, so you have to set them just like this. This will be the front cover, this will be the back cover. But because of the way I'm doing it with the eyelets and these little, whatever you call them, belt buckle hinges, we're going to have to do it this way. So I'm going to repunch down in there. Ugh. All right. And then I'm going to go down to this end and try to make it as about an inch in, I think it is. And I'm going to put a hole there. And that's going to do both pieces for me. You know, I guess I didn't think about it with this one. Oh, okay. Shake it off, Rhoda. Shake it off. Okay, let's see. I am going to, you got to put these in first. I'm going to go ahead and thread our eyelets in and get them placed down. I'm going to go up and down like that. And like this. Spin it around so you're up and down. Okay, and then I'll take my whatever flat item. It could be your tweezers or flat of your scissors, and I always like to flatten that. Okay, so this one is going to be here. This is not what I had intended, but I guess the cups are throwing me off. They're not usually supposed to be there. Oh, goodness. Okay. I love to go up into, like, the rivers or the lakes and stuff. In the summer, you know, piddle around in the water. I was always one to piddle in the water. I wasn't really doing any swimming. I like to wade and look for creatures and that kind of stuff. So this one is definitely our front. Now, I didn't want the whatever brad to be in the way of anything. So what I've done is, on my other one, is just kind of smear a little glue around there and then put it over top of that. and wipe it down. And it keeps, like, because this is where your little journal card is going to go in. So you don't want that to be hindering your card entrance, and you don't want to hit it and that kind of thing and mess up the whole kit and caboodle. So I just took some cheap washi. That one was a little longer than it's supposed to be. Yep, got that one done. Now I got to do this one. Yeah, there's always some kind of maintenance you got to do. Always. Rats. Okay. Oh, got so much equipment on my desk, it's going every which way. There we go. And one more little piece. There. Now, I think most of the prep is done. It's always a lot of prep with my projects. Or I make it harder than it needs to be. Now that's sticking a little over. I don't like that. So we're going to cut you off. Yeah. This one's fine. I don't know what happened to that one. Okay, so we're going to put it together now. And the way to do that is to glue, boom, boom, boom. You want to try to keep this as flat as you can. And then you're just going to do a C glue. You can do it a little bit wider if you want. It doesn't have to be just one little bead, because you might want the strength to be on there. So give it about 1/4 inch of glue, and I think it'll be good. So this is my front. That's the top at the top. And then I'm going to lay it on here and try to get it as straight as possible. I'm going to flip it while it's still wet and try to get it as close as we can. It looks like the bottom. Yep, I think I'm good. I want about the same distance as you can see on this side as you can see on that side. And I know my accordion's just a little off, so I think it's right on the money. So let's see. I'm going to open this up. Oh, it is crooked in here though. All right. Straighten it up. There. Is that better? I think so. All right, let's see. That's good enough. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing to this side. And the way this one's going to work is you have to have the brad heads on the opposite end. See, that's where I screwed that up. Oh well. But what we're going to do is actually try to match this bottom cover with this top cover and let that be our guide. Nothing's easy anymore, is it? Nothing is easy. It always wants to be hard and make life difficult. All right. So we're going to smooth that down. Get that to stick. And then the last thing with this part is just putting the Velcro on it. Now, as in the case of the other day with the envelope, double envelope pocket, I was telling you about scoring it like you might want to score in a couple places. Like, I don't even have to have it on the scoreboard. I can just rub it like that with, with a pointy object. But you want to do it right at that point, and like maybe down a little bit, because it's where it's going to wrap around here. And then we'll do that with the other side as well. Yeah, I used to live without a scoreboard. I just had a ruler and a score tool, and that's all you had. And it does just as good as a scoreboard. All right, now we're going to get in here with the Velcro. I'm going to do the one dot down, and then the fluffy dot on top of it. Okay, like that. And put our fluffy dot. Guess that's the way to term it, the fluffy dot. Oh, okay. Now, I should have bent that first, but I didn't. Oh, and I want to put a little dot of glue. It always helps, you know. You have a little bit of extra adhesion. There we go. Push that in. Now, gonna flip it and do the same thing. And we're gonna put our jiggy jaggy dot. That's why I like to round them, because it just goes perfectly with the size there. Now, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that this time. I pulled something in my neck. I think I laid wrong in my chair one night, about 3 or 4 nights ago, and I still got a kink in my neck. It just won't go away. It's actually not in my neck, it's in my shoulder blade. All right, let go of me. Aren't those things horrible? I'll be watching a video or watching a movie, and I just like one minute I'm awake and the next I'm out. Oh goodness. Yeah. I mean, as long as I'm getting some sleep, I'm fine with it. However I get there with this crazy sleep apnea. Okay, now this is what it's all about here. So this is the front, I know, because the cups are on the right side. And then this is like the spine of your book. So you open it like this. Make sure everybody's down. Oop, that one's not. That one's not. And then you can open it right here. I need to put a little dot of glue right in there. My paper's coming up. All right, I think I fixed it. All right, so this is the side that has the teapots. So you're kind of going through, looking at all your teapots. Lots and lots of teapots. And yeah, the cover, that two-sided paper that had the cups, I didn't have to cover this in any way because that took care of, oh, that's why I didn't have it like that before. Look at that. Oh, man, you're getting to see me screw up all over the place. All over the place. Let's just do this. We're going to cut that to 1 inch and cover it. Okay, so I made this little strip by those 2 pieces I had left over. And we're just going to glue it down. And it's going to cover up my boo-boo. All because I wanted those brads to be on that other side. It's all because of those brads. All right. But that's okay. That's one way of covering it. And I'm just going to stick it like right there. That one little bit was sticking of pink was sticking over, so that's why I had to get so close to the edge. But no harm, no foul. I mean, we fixed it. I might want to get in here and hold that down a little bit more. And now, I'll show you that other side. Sounds like my mom's out there mowing today. She's crazy. Alright, let me put this down. And then if you flip to this side, this will be where you can write. And you have all kinds of writing. But the reason I wanted that double little cinch system was so your spine could be on either end. And would hold it together. So that's why I wanted it like I did it. Don't know if you want to do yours that way or not. And now the decorating, which will be one of these, and I need to find one. Actually, we may use this. It's not going to be a teapot. I don't think I can make it. I may be able to make it into a teapot. But if not, I can make it into a sugar bowl, which is just as good. And I'll have my little teacup and my doily down here. And yeah. So let me get to cutting this out. And I think I'm just going to make it a teacup, a sugar bowl. I think I've got some old sugar bowls or something that was in our family. Had like a Chinese sort of design on the outside of it, but I don't know. I guess I was always fascinated with tea stuff. And I'm going to save that little strip of pink up here at the top. As you can see, I used that in the other one, and that was really cute. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of make it rounded on the shoulder right here. Oh gosh. Like that. And you'll never know. You'll never be able to tell that that wasn't supposed to be a sugar bowl. I left that little bit at the bottom. Yep. And then the pink at the top. Cut that right here. That's going to be part of our little tablecloth design. Alright, and the rest of that's history. Yep, goes right across there. Now this is a little too long. I think it was only about this big. And I can use that little bit of scrap there for something. I think I took and inked the outside edge of it just so it had some darkness with scorched timber to give it some character too. I did tea dye these, oddly enough. And yeah, there we go. And this can go for the next one. Let's see. I think if I put that there, this here, that would work out right. All right. Let's go ahead and get it down. Oh, if I can get my fingers on it. Okay. Just going to quickly go around to the parts that need to have the glue. And ugh, your nose always gets stuck in there. This little needle nose never fails. Okay, so I'm going to stick that right here. Wipe off the excess, and then we're going to put this across there. And I'm just going to do it like this. Okay. That cleans out the top of that, and you don't see the rough cut. Is the reason for that. All right, now we're going to glue the back side of this. It's very rounded, so it's going to cause me some issues, I know. Oh. Okay. Oop. All right, let's see if we can get that down without too much of a fight. Oh, yeah. Trying to get it dead center. And yeah, the colors, oh, I even got a blue in there. The colors match pretty nicely. Okay, now, the little teacups, and I have a teaspoon that I need. Hey, Domino. Domino's coming out of the room. She's been staying in that bedroom, and I don't know why. I guess she feels safer in there or something. Okay, we're just going to cut out this teaspoon to go on here. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Your daddy's not going to be home for a little bit, Domino. She's been under the bed. She hadn't been on the bed. I guess she's still, I don't know, making sure she's not going to be taken back. Because she kind of ran from me for a couple days. I guess she thought I was going to take her back. All right, I have my spoon. Now I need to get my cup. And which one are we going to go with? That blue is pretty because it's got blue on there. So I think that's going to be it. I just have to figure out, goodness, where I want it to be as opposed to the spoon. Maybe like that. So let's get the spoon down first. She's been going out there drinking out of the water bowl in the kitchen. It's almost like she's taking a bath in it because there's water all over the floor afterward. So I have no clue what she's doing. Okay, we're going to stick that kind of like that. Add us a little bit of extra glue on here. And I just kind of made up the T word on here. And I don't think I have. We'll see if we can make it again. Although I'm going to be not able to get it on there. And I had a little fork, but that was not needed. I don't think I'm going to worry with a word on this one. You can kind of tell that it's a tea. You got the teacups. You got the sugar bowl. Maybe I could put sugar on there. Maybe that's the word I could go for. All right. Well, that's what I will do in the off time. But I had a few things I wanted to show you first before I let you go. But I was wanting to thank everybody, for all my subscribers and viewers, for coming by to see me. And I don't know if you have been keeping up with this. I haven't shown this to you in ages. It was this little journal, and I haven't got it sewn in yet, but I did go through today, and I did a few little fancy things to it, mostly stenciling and stamping. But I had did this little bit of texture paste, actually it's crackle paste, up here, and I did a little bit of a mica spray on it. If you can see, it's really, really pretty. But it kind of goes with the color that's in the kit. And then in my one book over there, I had done all these little collage-y things. And I thought that would be really pretty right there. It's got a little bit of that dark burgundy that looks like it's exactly that color there. I see a little of the teal that's over here. So I thought that would be perfect on there. I think it's dry, so I can always glue that down. We also it's a little wrinkled right here, and a little bit of the spray came through, but I'll probably put a pocket right there, and that'll hide that, so I don't have to worry about that shining. But I did have some stamping, especially since that's a newspaper. I thought that would be nice on here, and I've got it in a green shade. I did some of the roses, and it's not got too much in it yet. I did a little stamp there, and so this is kind of how I do it. I build it. See, there's that there's that same paper for that I'm using with the teapots. So this was one of the sailor hats, the sailor hat we put in there. And it had a little bit of burgundy here, so I did a burgundy stamp of these butterflies. And let's see. Those are some little bird cages. I didn't want to do too much. I was doing a little bit. Now here I did some stenciling as well in Vintage Photo with more of the green with a butterfly. So it all will, you know, eventually go together. Now here's the Harlequin stencil that I used there just to give me something. If I put something on this page, that'll be just a little backdrop to it, you know. And then there's that piece that I put in. Now this was the one that I did, and I messed up so bad. And I gave you a little 4-minute video after that to show you. But this one has the little clasp on it, or I don't know which, buckle, belt, I don't know what you'd call it. But here is the other one that I did. It was the other paper that I'd picked out. So it doesn't have the little buckle belt on it. So it'll be like just a free flopping one. I used the scrap that I had from the background here. And I didn't need it on this because this was a green envelope. But here was how you would put it down. You would wrap this up here where you wanted it, adjusted it. Then you would pull that flap up and you would glue it. Not to the border, but almost like 1/4 inch sleeve. And that's all I have to do. Now all I got to do is glue the whole back down. I've got a pocket up here, and then I've got a pocket there. And that's all I need to do. So I got a backup one. So the rest of this, Domino's waiting. I did a little bit of a red, kind of a scroll kind of a stencil there. I did the Harlequin sideways on this one. And I didn't do anything on that one. But I just kind of went through, here's a stamp, and kind of put a little bit of interest, you know, on each page. This one has this little star design. So I have a stamp that has sort of that little star, 6-sided star. So I'll put that in here. And I don't know if I did a little bit of that kind of stencil with that stamp over it. And I think that might be, and I did more of that stamp back here. And then that's where the little pocket thingy is I did the other week. I did stenciling here. Oh, a little stamp. So this is how you could build up your journal. So you just kind of put a few things in at a time. And since that was a pretty rose red, I went and decided to do that over here in that color. And then I did some more stenciling there to tie in with the green here. And then this last one, I did stenciling there, and sort of like a wrought iron design, I think it is. And let's see. I did butterflies here in the teal, because I had the teal going on over here. I did a long stencil here. And there was the Harlequin on the upper and lower of that page. And do I have any more? No, that was all I had. Okay. So that's how that book is coming along. And I had to do that first before I could sew it into the signature. So that'll be the next step. Then, the last thing I wanted to show you, which I had this in the video, was this little paper bag journal. And if you've got a lot of different book pages, go ahead and start ripping them up in like little squares or something like that. And you can use it as background. Look, I did envelopes here. I just had some pages that I made into envelopes. And I think I saw Julie at Camilla Crafts doing this. And I loved it. And, well, actually, that's upside down. But she had some flowers and butterflies and birds and things. And the way she did it, she went every which way with the lettering, upside down even. And then I went over it with some sort of distressy kind of stamps and inked edges. And I just loved how that looked. I did the whole page. Like it was so long, I just went ahead and went up on the flap with it. And then I did a little bit back here. And then on this one, this is a little different. It still has the up and down and all around. And you can see the varied colors of the book page in here. And I had a page of this left over from an old paper pad. And that's what I did. I stamped the edge with this scroll stamp. And I used some kind of mica spray or something. Maybe acrylic. And I just watered it down. And I painted the outside edge. Now, back here, I didn't use the book page, but I used some other scraps that I had. You can even see a phone number in there. And I did that same scroll stamp. And I just kind of painted it again with that kind of a mica or a metallic. I don't know what that was. But I loved how those turned out. And that's just covering an envelope you might have. This was a paper bag journal that's made with 3 jumbo paper bags. And I added music paper in here. I have dictionary page and something else was in here. I used some of this crazy cello tape, I think they call it. I did some stamping. I had about 6 little creatures, and I had this one thing from the Dollar Tree with these kind of pastel-y flowers. And so that's all I did to decorate this. Let me kind of get that out of the way. And I did some birch trees here that I'm not that happy with. And then also the cello tape, some of it I added some gold to it. And I had some dots that was left over from where I'd cut these out. This is the tree line by Tim Holtz, one of his die cuts. Cute little foxes over here. I have the yellow pages in here as well. So, you know, you can just use up a bunch of your pages. These are the 2 big journal cards that you're able to write on. More of the same. I just kind of did the same on each one. Here's a bunny. And then over here I have a little chipmunk. And this one has mushrooms. I think that one back here had mushrooms. This one has like trees. So it kind of goes with this look. And then whoever gets this, that's my little advertisement. Gotta advertise. And then we have, yeah, another mushroom back here. Oh, I showed you that one. This was the name of one of those musics that I used. And then we have, oh, somebody got in here with their little fuzz. I put sticky notes here with this little bunny. And then another mushroom. There we go. And then more dots. It's just kind of the same. I think I have a different music on this one. Another stamping. And I just had a strip that I cut off from here. And I just used it, you know, just put it in there. You know, it'll add to the look. And then I just did that on the back. So, there's you some ideas. Okay. I hope you enjoyed everything you got to see today. Give me a thumbs up if you think if you made it through. But thank you so much for coming by and spending some time with me today. Everybody have a great, great day. Bye-bye.